What's good, fam? Check it out. This is really hard for me to do, but I have to be obedient unto God because this brings back so many memories I'm thankful for. I am so thankful for what God has done. But then on the other hand, I sit and wonder, Lord, what have I done? Where am I going? What just happened? But in March 2007, God blessed me and my wife to purchase our first home. And our first home was purchased in such an amazing way because we were 2.5 years into a bankruptcy. And being 2.5 years into that bankruptcy, we had absolutely no idea that God would bless us in the magnitude that he did. He blessed us with a 3,000 square foot home that we had built from ground up. All the upgrades, some of the upgrades in the house they had given to us for free. And it was just a magnificent time in our life because it was something new, because we had gone through so much financially, but God had kept us and bonded us closer and closer together. With that being said, within us 2 months of us moving into our brand new home, our down payment was $638. Can you believe it? $638. But within 2 months, my God, I'm looking at it now. Within 2 months after us moving into our home, we get a check in the mail for the price of $638. Guess what happened? Some kind of way, our home got funded. And we paid no down payment on this house that we had built. This was the house we started One Family Fellowship in, that God had given us. This was our first home. After we started the church for family night and doing everything within the church, and we finally moved out, within a few months of us moving out of the location we were in at the church, someone kicked in our front door. And it was during the middle of the day, and instantly our peace left us in this house, and God began to speak. It's time to go. And I was like, Lord, I can get a brand new door. I can do all of this stuff. It's time to go. But Lord, this is my house. I can afford it. I'm finally making a good salary. My wife is making a good salary. We're doing well together. We've come out of some things. And he says, I didn't give you this house for it to become your house. I gave you this house to do what you did, and that was to start the ministry. And it was really hard. But then, lo and behold, all kind of crazy stuff started happening around the house, from people getting shot to snakes showing up in garages to a bunch of little things that kind of started adding up, saying, okay, it's time to go. Even things at my kids' school started going crazy. And so we decided to be obedient and put the house on the market. And it hurt to do so because we looked at this house like this was the best thing that ever happened. But God began to show me, he said, there are some things that are blessings in this season that will turn out to be curses in the next season. It's kind of like the children of Israel. He told them to only, when the manna fell from heaven, he told them to only take what you need for today and not a inch more. And when they got disobedient, they took more, thinking that they could save it. And before you know it, the manna had maggots in it the next day. And so we left our home. Okay, we moved from 3,000 square feet to 1,000 square feet. That was hard, but it was out of obedience. But I noticed the anointing of God began to birth itself, and different things started happening in my life from a spiritual standpoint. So it's like I left a physical home and entered into some other kind of dimension, some other kind of realm in my spirit that I cannot put words to. And so it started to make sense, but it still hurt. But then the sacrifices came even more. God says, you're preaching and teaching to a bunch of people and you're talking about faith. But you don't have to use faith because you have a lot coming in. You're doing pretty good for yourself. So it's easy to preach and teach faith when you don't have to live by it. And so I began to wonder, so what's next? And then he put another proposal on the table. He says, leave your job and live by the faith that you preach and teach about. And that was a tough one because my salary was pretty decent and I was doing pretty good for the first time in my life. But to give you an idea, I'm going to let you see something that I've never, ever let anybody see, because a lot of people will talk and say some things are not believable, but I just have to be obedient unto God. You see here, it's my name and my wife's name. This was our salary in 2011, the top line. walked away from it in order to be closer to God and to lead his people. I'm richer than I've ever been in my life. And I'm not talking financially. God has blessed me in my spirit. He's blessed me in my heart. He's blessed my church. He has blessed my family. I've probably given away more money in the last 2 years than I probably made. Because God just wanted to see, is it the stuff or is it me? And what he began to show me is, he said, many people in church are living life going for this. And they're going for this. He says, when you seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and its righteousness, all of these things will be added to you. God's sending a warning. He says, don't just want me because of my things, but want me because of me, and the things will follow. Would you like it if somebody was only with you because of what they could get out of you? What happens when you don't give it to them? They leave and they say you didn't have it. Let's stop teaching and preaching to people about all of the things we can get with God, and just start telling them just about what we can get from God out of his spirit, what God can get out of us, what kind of relationship we need. Oh yeah, I do want my $500,000 house. Yes, God, I do. But I want him more than I want that. Give me you. Everything else can wait. Give me you. I hope it's not too late. So I'm thankful that I believe I'll get what I want, but I won't have to compromise my integrity. I won't have to compromise my preaching. I won't have to compromise my teaching. I won't have to pimp the pews, because my gift is going to make room for multiple flows of income to come into my house. And by all means, if I never get it, I'm still richer than I've ever been in my life. I hope you're blessed today. God bless you. This was tough for me, but if it helped you, God gets the glory all the time. I would have put this on Periscope, but I don't have enough followers on Periscope just yet. So if you ever download the app to Periscope and you can catch me live, and that is Periscope. I'm David Deon. That's capital D-A-V-I, capital D-E-O-N. God bless you. This is David Robertson signing out, pastor, One Family Fellowship. Just call me David, man. It's all good. I love you. Be blessed.